Are you over 60? You might think you're eating healthy, but what if the combination of eggs and these vegetables is actually sabotaging your muscles? Sounds shocking, right? But what if I told you that certain food pairings could be slowing down your digestion, messing with protein absorption, and ultimately affecting your muscle strength? Stick around because, in the next few minutes, you'll discover which 3 vegetables you should never pair with eggs if you want to keep your muscles strong and healthy. And I'll even give you some simple swaps that can make a huge difference for your muscle preservation and overall health. Why muscle matters as we age. As you get older, something sneaky happens to your body. Muscle mass starts to disappear. This is known as sarcopenia, a natural part of aging where muscle tissue is gradually lost. But it's not just about feeling weaker. Tasks like climbing stairs, picking up groceries, or even standing for long periods start to feel more challenging. Here's the kicker. This process isn't inevitable. It can be slowed down, and no, it's not all about spending hours in the gym. What you eat, especially the protein in your meals, plays a critical role in preserving muscle. Now, let's focus on protein. It's the building block of muscle. But not just any protein. Eggs are one of the best sources because they offer all the essential amino acids your body needs. Eggs aren't just something to have for breakfast. They're your muscle's best friend. The amino acids in eggs are highly bioavailable, meaning your body can easily absorb them and put them to work building muscle. In fact, studies show that higher protein intake helps preserve lean body mass, especially as we age or go through weight loss. Protein needs to be a priority in your meals, and eggs are an excellent source. But here's something most people overlook. It's not just about how much protein you consume, it's also about how your body uses it. As we age, our ability to properly digest and absorb protein decreases. So you could be eating all the eggs and chicken you want, but if your body isn't absorbing that protein, then it's not really doing anything for your muscles. The question becomes, how can you make sure you're absorbing all that protein? For those over 60, getting enough protein in every meal is a must. The key to maximizing absorption lies in the combination of the right foods and how well you digest them. This is something we'll dive deeper into in just a bit. For now, just keep in mind that muscle preservation is essential for staying strong and independent as you age. And eggs are an invaluable ally in that fight. The myth of food combinations and muscle damage. Let's tackle a common myth, the idea that certain foods can destroy muscles when eaten together. It sounds dramatic, but the truth is far less frightening and much more complicated. Some people claim that pairing eggs with specific vegetables could damage your muscles. But here's the thing, nutrition science doesn't back that up. In fact, a lot of these claims about bad food combinations stem from outdated food combining theories. Theories that were based more on tradition and personal beliefs than on solid scientific research. So while it might seem like an easy rule to follow, don't eat eggs with tomatoes, or else your muscles will shrink. The reality is our bodies are far more adaptable than that. The issue isn't about food combinations destroying muscles. Instead, it's about how the foods we eat interact and how those interactions impact digestion and nutrient absorption. For example, if certain vegetables cause bloating or slow down digestion, they might prevent your body from fully absorbing the protein in the eggs you just ate. It's not that the combination is bad per se, but some pairings can create digestive discomfort, making it harder for your body to fully utilize the nutrients in your meal. This becomes even more important as we get older, because our digestive systems tend to slow down naturally. The key takeaway here is that a balanced diet, rich in both vegetables and high-quality protein, actually supports your health and muscle preservation as you age. Instead of worrying about destroying muscles, focus on pairing foods in a way that promotes efficient digestion and optimal protein absorption, especially if you're over 60. 3 vegetables you shouldn't combine with eggs if you're over 60. As you get older, your digestive system tends to slow down. It's natural, but it can make a big difference in how well your body processes food and absorbs nutrients, especially protein. This doesn't mean you have to stop eating the foods you enjoy, but it does mean that some food combinations can do more harm than good, particularly when it comes to muscle preservation. So let's explore why certain vegetables should be avoided when paired with eggs, not because they destroy your muscles, but because they can affect how much protein your body is able to use. When digestion slows down, your body has less time to break down food and absorb the nutrients, including protein. Protein is essential for muscle maintenance, so the last thing you want is a combination of foods that makes protein absorption harder. You might be eating all these healthy eggs and veggies, but if your body can't absorb the nutrients properly, you're not getting the full benefit. Let's look at 3 common vegetables that should be separated from your eggs, especially as you age. We'll dive into why they may be problematic and how you can tweak your meals to maximize nutrient absorption and keep your muscles strong. Number 1. Nightshades, tomatoes, eggplant and peppers. Let's begin with nightshades, tomatoes, eggplants, and peppers. These vegetables are incredibly healthy, packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. But there's a catch: they contain compounds called lectins and alkaloids. These compounds can irritate the digestive system, and as we know, digestion slows with age, making these vegetables harder to process for some people. Lectins are proteins that bind to carbohydrates in the gut. They're not harmful in themselves, but they can cause bloating, gas, or discomfort in some individuals. When paired with eggs, a high-protein food, the lectins and nightshades can slow down digestion, making it harder for your body to break down the protein in eggs and absorb the amino acids needed for muscle preservation. So if you've ever felt bloated or sluggish after enjoying a breakfast of scrambled eggs with tomatoes or an omelet with peppers, you're not imagining it. That discomfort can actually limit how much protein your body absorbs, which over time could impact your muscle maintenance. But don't worry. You don't need to give up these vegetables altogether. The key is moderation and preparation. Steaming, roasting, or grilling these veggies can help reduce the lectin content, making them easier on your stomach. Alternatively, try pairing your eggs with other vegetables like leafy greens or mushrooms, which are gentler on digestion and just as nutritious. Number 2. Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. Next, let's talk about cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and others. These are fiber-packed, antioxidant-rich vegetables that are a staple of any healthy diet. But here's the twist: they can cause digestive discomfort, especially for older adults. The high fiber content and complex carbohydrates in these vegetables can sometimes lead to bloating, gas, and that heavy feeling in the stomach. This becomes more common as we age, as our digestive systems aren't as efficient as they once were. You're probably thinking, but these vegetables are so good for me. And you're absolutely right. They are packed with nutrients that support overall health. The issue isn't with the vegetables themselves, but how they interact with other foods, like protein. When you combine high-fiber foods with protein, the digestive process can slow down, making it harder for your body to break down and absorb the protein you need to preserve muscle mass. Why does this matter when you're over 60? Because protein absorption is crucial for maintaining muscle mass, and as we get older, we need more protein to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. If your body is struggling to digest a meal that's high in both fiber and protein, you're not maximizing your protein intake, which could negatively impact your muscle preservation. But there's a solution. You don't need to give up your favorite cruciferous vegetables. The trick is to adjust how you prepare them. Steaming or lightly cooking these veggies can help reduce their impact on digestion, making them easier on your stomach. If you want to enjoy your eggs with veggies, consider pairing them with gentler options like leafy greens or tomatoes, which are easier to digest. Number 3. Starchy veggies, potatoes, sweet potatoes, beets. Now, let's take a look at starchy vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, and beets. These veggies are rich in vitamins, minerals, and fiber, and they're certainly a healthy choice. But here's the thing: while starchy vegetables aren't inherently bad for you, consuming them in large amounts with protein-rich foods like eggs can slow down the digestion and absorption of protein. And as we age, this is something you'll want to pay attention to. So, what's the problem? Starches are carbohydrates, and when you eat them in high quantities, your body prioritizes using those carbs for energy. This delays the digestion of protein, which is particularly problematic after a workout or for older adults who rely on protein intake for muscle repair. Your muscles need that protein, and if your body is too focused on digesting carbs, it won't use the protein as efficiently as it should. Let's talk about glycemic load for a moment. High glycemic foods, like starchy vegetables, can cause your blood sugar to spike. When this happens, your body releases insulin to bring the sugar levels down. This insulin response, while necessary, can divert your body's attention away from utilizing protein, slowing down muscle repair and growth. It's a subtle effect, but over time, it can impact muscle preservation. The key here is moderation. You don't need to eliminate starchy vegetables from your diet. Just keep the portions moderate and pair them with fiber-rich foods like leafy greens or legumes to help balance the meal. And of course, always make sure to include protein in the mix so your muscles can get the nourishment they need. What food science really says about muscle, eggs, and vegetables. When it comes to food and muscle preservation, especially as you get older, you've probably heard a lot of advice. Some claim that certain foods are muscle destroyers, while others say certain food combinations can either build or break down your strength. So, what does the science actually say? First things first, the idea that vegetables destroy muscles when eaten with eggs? It's a myth. Vegetables are not the enemy. In fact, they're an essential part of a balanced diet. They provide important nutrients like antioxidants, fiber, and vitamins that support your overall health. Plus, they help reduce inflammation, which is especially helpful for people over 60 who are more likely to deal with joint pain or muscle soreness. But here's where things get a little tricky. The way your body processes protein can be influenced by the foods you eat together. As we age, our digestive systems slow down, and certain food pairings, particularly those heavy in fiber or containing compounds like lectins, can slow digestion. When digestion slows, it becomes harder for your body to break down and absorb the protein in eggs. And since protein is crucial for muscle preservation, if your body isn't absorbing it properly, that muscle-building protein becomes less effective. That's why the timing and quality of the foods you eat really matter. When you're eating protein-rich foods like eggs, it's important to make sure your meal is also optimized for digestion and nutrient absorption. For example, pairing eggs with fiber-rich vegetables like spinach or kale can actually help with protein absorption because these vegetables don't overwhelm the digestive system. On the flip side, pairing eggs with foods that cause bloating or discomfort, like certain nightshades or cruciferous vegetables, can slow down digestion and potentially reduce how much protein your body can actually use. So vegetables aren't your enemy, it's about how and when you eat them. Understanding these interactions will help you get the most out of your meals, ensuring that your body absorbs the protein it needs to keep your muscles healthy as you age. Best practices for eggs plus vegetables after 60. Now that we've covered which food combinations to avoid, let's talk about the best practices for pairing eggs with vegetables, especially as you get older. The goal is simple. Make sure your meals support digestion and maximize protein absorption to help preserve your muscles and keep you strong. The first rule of thumb: lightly cook your vegetables. Whether you're steaming, sautéing, or roasting them, cooking vegetables makes them easier to digest and reduces the fiber's impact on your stomach. For example, if you're adding spinach or kale to your eggs, sauté them lightly in olive oil instead of eating them raw. This will make them easier on your digestive system and help your body absorb the nutrients more effectively. Speaking of olive oil, don't skip adding healthy fats to your meals. Healthy fats, like those found in olive oil, avocado, and nuts, not only support heart health, but they also help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, which is essential for muscle function. When you add healthy fats to your eggs and veggies, you're not just supporting digestion, you're also ensuring your body can fully utilize all the nutrients in your meal, including protein. Timing is also crucial. If you've just finished a workout, your body is primed to absorb protein, so aim to eat your eggs and veggies within a couple of hours post-exercise. This helps repair muscle fibers and stimulates muscle growth, which is key for staying active and strong as you age. It's not just about eating the right foods, it's also about when you eat them. Finally, listen to your body. If certain vegetable combinations leave you feeling sluggish or bloated, adjust your meals. For example, if you enjoy a veggie-loaded omelet but feel heavy afterward, try reducing the portion size of cruciferous vegetables or swapping them for gentler options like zucchini or bell peppers. In short, the key to maximizing protein absorption and preserving muscle after 60 is focusing on digestion-friendly food combinations, mindful meal timing, and adding healthy fats to support nutrient absorption. These simple adjustments can make all the difference in keeping your muscles strong and your body healthy. Now that we've covered the science behind muscle preservation, digestion, and food pairings, let's dive into something a little more exciting: meal ideas. Understanding the theory is one thing, but turning it into action is where the magic happens. Eating healthy doesn't mean you have to settle for bland or boring meals. Let's explore some delicious, muscle-friendly meals that you can easily incorporate into your daily routine. Spinach and herb omelette. This one's a classic with a twist to make it digestion-friendly and muscle-supporting. Start with 2 eggs. After all, you want to get as much high-quality protein as you can. Then sauté a handful of spinach in olive oil until it softens, adding a little garlic and fresh herbs like thyme or oregano. This combination of eggs and leafy greens boosts your protein intake while providing antioxidants to support your health. Spinach, especially when lightly cooked, is easy on the stomach and helps with protein absorption. And the olive oil? It helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins from both the spinach and the eggs, making this meal a nutrient powerhouse. Egg plus mixed greens bowl. Looking for something light but filling? Try a soft-boiled egg on a bed of mixed greens like arugula and kale, topped with a bit of avocado for healthy fats. Add a few cherry tomatoes for an extra boost of antioxidants. With fiber from the greens, protein from the eggs, and healthy fats from the avocado, this meal is perfect for lunch or dinner. It's easy to prepare and keeps you feeling satisfied, while supporting both digestion and muscle preservation. Egg plus sweet potato hash, light portion. For a hearty breakfast that doesn't weigh you down, try a small portion of sweet potato hash. Cube a small sweet potato and sauté it with olive oil, onions, and bell peppers. Once the sweet potatoes are cooked, top the hash with a fried egg. Sweet potatoes provide fiber, vitamins, and minerals, while the egg delivers the protein necessary for muscle maintenance. This meal is perfect when you want something filling without going overboard on carbs. These meals don't just support muscle maintenance, they're delicious and easy to make. With the right combinations, you don't have to sacrifice taste for health. Try these meals and see how they improve your digestion, muscle strength, and overall well-being. You've learned about those sneaky vegetable and egg combinations that can slow down digestion and make it harder for your body to absorb the protein you need. And the good news? It's all about making small changes to your food choices and combinations. So what will you try first? Will you swap out the heavy veggies with easier-to-digest options? Or maybe focus on optimizing your meal timing after workouts? These little shifts could help you keep your muscles strong and your body feeling great. Let me know in the comments what combination you're most excited to try, or if you've had any surprising experiences with your meals and digestion. I'd love to hear how you're applying these tips to your everyday life. And don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who could benefit, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more expert tips on staying healthy after 60. Make sure to turn on your notifications so you never miss a video. Also, check out the next video to learn even more about how you can optimize your nutrition for better health. Click now, and keep learning with me.